Hello, beautiful yogis. Welcome to your practice. Today we're just going to get back into this body and feel good, have a lovely stretch and get strong. So happy you're here. So let's start lying on the back. Hug in. Feels good to just lie on your back, on your yoga mat. You can have your legs straight or your knees bent. Rest your hands on your tummy. Let the eyes fall closed and then sense what is here for you in this moment. Remembering that we come as we are to the yoga mat. Accept all of that. The big deal is that you came to your yoga mat. Take a nose inhale. Keep breathing in, keep breathing in. And now blow it away. And let the air element flow through your body again in the same way, deeply, fully in. A little moment where we're full of breath that we hold, and then let it all blow away. One more time. Nice. Please bring your right knee close to your chest. Hold it with both hands wrapped around your shin. Slide the left leg straight out on the mat. And as you keep that left leg straight, let's soften the right foot and give it a little roly-poly round the ankle. And reverse that circling of your right foot the other way. Letting your low back just press into the mat. That's the part we just want to reassure that all is well. The right foot comes to a halt as the left leg engages long and straight, ready now on inhale to lift that left leg up towards vertical. And take your time because the inhale is slow and deep. And then the exhale, smooth, down goes the leg to lightly touch the ground as you empty of breath. Here we go again. Left leg inhaling rises and lowers. One more time. Good. Let's keep the left leg just above the mat this time. Take your right knee a little out to the right. Take a breath in and now curl up, upper body, head and chest. Rise up off the mat. The arms can reach and we stay for 2 breaths here. One more. Lie the head down, and now draw the left knee in with both hands. Slide the right leg straight out on the mat. Put a little charge through that right leg, softening the left foot for the circling. And circling that left foot the other way. Good, letting the left foot flop, the engaged, vigorous right leg rises up on the inhale and lowers on the exhale. All the while the low back is pressing into the mat, creating stability and safety. As we take it twice more. Letting our mind come into the breath and this slow moving. One more, the right leg lifts on in. Lowers down on the exhale. This time the right leg just above the floor. Left leg slightly out to the left. Fill up with a breath. Really activate your core, press your low back. Exhale, curl up off the mat. Reach your arms, 2 breaths. Now on the inhale, lie your head back down and place a hand on each knee and circle your knees together in a clockwise direction, rolling the sacrum. Om 1, Om 2, and one more time, clockwise direction. Nice, everybody. And now let your feet come to the mat, a little ways apart, even to the edges of your mat, and the arms out wide as we exhale, knees and hips to the left and the head to the right. Come back to center. Just a lovely slow way to come into the body, rolling on the buttocks now as we tip the knees to the right and the head left. So each time we inhale, we come to the midline, and the exhale over to the side. Giving your body, mind this slow movement to become aware of where we're at. Can we accept this moment exactly as it is? We have one more going over. And then as we bring the knees to center, take your feet off the mat, a hand on each knee, circling the knees together now in the anti-clockwise direction. Circling around. Great. Complete that with your knees directly over your hips and your shin bones parallel to the mat and the arms close to your hips, palms down. Ready now, so this is our starting place, the place we come back to. Right arm and left leg extend away on the inhalation. Nice long cross body stretch, feel that top of the breath, little hold, and exhale, come back to the starting place. Left arm and right leg extend and stretch it out and come back. Alternate sides, go slowly with your breath. Savor the fullness moment where we really feel that cross body stretch. The exhale takes us back to the starting place to continue on. When you come to completion of the left arm and right leg, we'll end this sequence by hugging both knees close to the body. Little tuck in, curl up. And then the head lies down and the feet land, leaving the knees bent. Bring your hands now to hold your head. Good. Again, cross body. This time we curl elbow towards knee on exhale. So begin with the in, and now your left knee approaches your right elbow as we curl up and inhale, return. This too, now strengthening into the core muscles, is reassuring for the low back. So that when in a little while we're up and doing standing and flowing with back bends, this low back area is nice and stable and feels safe. As we move through the yoga poses. Stay with it. Completing when you reach your left elbow across. Head rests down, palms down. Let's tuck them under the low back. And as you press your shoulders down, just take your feet off the floor, inhaling the legs up towards vertical and flexed feet. Exhale, bend the knees. Add the little scoop now, your feet away close to the ground, and then take your legs to vertical. Exhale, bend the knees. Another way that we can approach the core muscles and stabilize low back. We have 3 to go. And 1 more. Nice. Now as your knees bend, place again a hand on each knee, and this time knees apart, circle them in opposite directions. After 3, reverse. And then as your knees come back together, guide them to directly over your hips and lift the shin bones parallel to the mat. Let's grab a block and place it between the knees. So hold the block in place as we exhale both knees, holding the block towards the right and chin left. Inhale to center, and we'll take it the other way, over to the left and the head to the right. Sometimes the bones talk. Have you noticed that? A little clunk and a little crack as our bones move about. Completing with the left side. Coming back to center. Good. Now bring your palms down. The block's still there. take your legs to straight, holding the block. Good. The block's there. Tuck the hands slightly in. We're going to exhale the long straight legs towards the ground. Oh, try to keep a hold of that block as we inhale the legs back up to vertical. And that's one. Exhale, down we go. 4, 2. And another slow lowering of the legs, squeezing the block lightly. And that's 3. Let's do 2 more. Nice, everyone. Coming to our last one. Bring the legs back up. Remove the block. And now bend both knees for a happy baby pose. So that releases the tummy muscles that worked there. Goes a little deeper into the hip stretch. Great, and release your feet. Let's roll to the side, come to hands and knees. Right, blocks at hand. And let's go into the breath-propelled cow-cat. The inhale, and then tucking under, exhale, lowering the chin, and moving slowly with your breathing here. Two more. And one more. As we exhale and round this time, take your butt back towards your heels. Take a little moment in child's pose. Let your body release into child's pose as deeply as is available right now. Breathe into your back. Great, Annette. Now bring your hands back to press to an upright kneeling position. All the way upright. Great, and raise both arms up. Inhale. Strong in the core, which we've been working. Now reach for the ground right in the front of the mat. And then on the inhale, bring your shoulders over the wrists. Exhale, bring your pelvis forward. We stay for inhale, straightening the arms, lengthening upwards, even looking up. And then activate your core and pull your hips back towards child's pose. Meanwhile, hands come along towards the knees to propel ourselves upright again. Stretching up. Exhale forward. So we try to keep the back straight all the way down. And then we inhale, torso forward. Now we get a little back bend as we lower the hips. And we deepen the back bend by engaging the heart, lift strong arms. And now engage the core to draw the hips back to our starting point. And we'll circle through one more time. And exhale forward. Inhale. And exhale, hips, pelvis forward. Renew this lift with the inhale, straight arms. And exhale back to child's pose. And now make your way to hands and knees. Cross body pose, where we bring the right leg parallel to the mat, the left arm forward. Stay here to breathe. Good. Now can you bend the right knee and reach for that foot with your left hand and see if you can get a little deeper back bend here across the body. 2 more breaths. Great, and now straighten the arm and the leg. And down we come, hand and knee back to 4s. Good, let's circle the hips in a clockwise direction. One more time around. And we come back to the all fours position. We'll take second side, the left leg now parallel to the mat, and the right arm forward. Get your balance point and your even breaths. Now bend the left knee, and can you catch that ankle? Kick up and draw your right chest open. And straighten the arm and the leg. And then bring the hand and the knee down. And as we do so, we'll circle the hips in the anti-clockwise direction. Great. Hands on blocks. Great. So now the right leg lifting up behind with the heart lift. Knee to nose on exhale. Tuck under. 2 more times. On this third one, we'll step forward. Press the foot down to bring your torso upright. And the arms circle to come back to the sides. Bringing your right arm behind your back. Inhale the left arm forward next to the head. And exhale, stay squared. Straight back, we come forward. Lengthen spine. Inhale, come back to upright. And forward we come again. One more. This time we'll come forward, hook the elbow over for the twist, bringing the right hand to meet the left hand twist. Yeah, stay steady, turn your ribs. Exhale, hands return to the blocks. Straighten the back leg. And breathe here as this leg kicks into its job to be strong and stable. And now please add a twist to the right. Exhale, bring your hand back. Bring your knee back, down, and the right knee next to the left knee. Ready for second side. Raise that left leg up. Inhale, chest lifts. Knee to nose, round under. And twice more. And this left foot steps through, pressing it down to bring the arms up, trunk vertical, and lower the arms, tucking your left arm behind the back and the right arm coming forward to bring the straight back, reaching into this forward bend, powering up that left leg. Inhale, rise again, and exhale, forward. One more. And this time, as we come forward, we're hooking the elbow over the knee, meeting the left hand and right hand to turn. On the exhale, the hands return to the blocks and the back leg straightens. And we hold here, intent on breath and strength and stability. And we'll open to the left. Twist left. Exhale, return, hand, back knee and front knee back to stretch it all out evenly in the extended child's pose. So the wide knees, the flattened blocks, and stretch your arms to the front a little wide, letting your heart come down to the mat. And with your tail drawn under, take your hips towards your heels. And really bring your breath to the places where you can feel this stretch happening. Great, and now draw forward again. Walk the knees in, bring your middle block under the hands. Starting again in fours, as we go into a little deeper hip stretch now. Bring your right hand block towards the left. Take your right knee up, inhale, and step the right foot to the outside of the right hand and block. Step it through. And now we adjust the blocks. They might walk forward as we let the hips come forward even deeper than we did earlier. Hips now towards the mat. We have the hands on the blocks. That's it. Great. And now we're moving towards lizard pose, where we either flatten the blocks or move the blocks to bring one or both elbows down to the mat, and keep that right knee hugging into the right shoulder, and the hips close to the ground. Most of us will have the left knee on the mat, but there's always the possibility of curling the left toes and straightening the left leg. You might try it for a moment. Great, everyone. Now, whether that back knee is down or up, we're going to tip now the right knee towards the right and bring your right hand towards that knee to take it outwards. and turning your upper body into this twist towards the right. Great. Now draw your knee back in, bring your foot to flat. Hands could be on the blocks now as we pull the hips back and rearrange our blocks again into that more familiar middle setting, and take your right leg back. And we come to our starting place for the left side. Bring the left knee up. Oh, we got to move that block into the middle, and then step your left foot to the outside of your left block. Inch the foot forward. Let your pelvis come forward. Adjust your blocks as needed. And we can take our time to let that quad stretch and the hips ease into this shape. Coming lower with your blocks or to the mat with your forearms. And this first part, we keep that left knee tucked into the left shoulder. Keeping the back knee as it is on the mat, or curling the foot, toes under, and straighten the leg for a few breaths. Great, the back knee can come down as we take the next part, which is tipping the left foot and knee out to the left, using the left hand and rolling your trunk towards the left. And coming out, bring your knee back. Use the blocks to help get everything back to our starting point. Good, so now that both knees are back, let's put the blocks to the side and take a downward dog. Stretch it all along the midline now. So love to twist in each direction, then stretch along the midline. That's how the body loves to be stretched without a sudden jolt anywhere. Just seamlessly opening all these areas. And feeling your breathing in the downward dog. Good. Inch your feet back a little bit so we can come to plank and then back to downward dog. Deepening our core work now. Plank and dog. One more time plank, and then we'll lower all the way down to the mat and come into Sphinx. Off the wrists now onto the forearms, and lift your heart and breathe here. So always we traction the upper body forward as we traction the elbows and forearms back, keeping the wide collarbones. On the next exhale, slide your hands to where your elbows are. Curl the toes, press to fours, and then we'll meet up in downward dog. With your feet now close together, raise your right leg parallel to the mat for inhale, and now knee to nose exhale, and bring your shoulders over your wrists and take it back. Inhale again, stretch the right leg back from downward dog, knee to nose, and we're in plank. And one more time. Good. Now this time we're in plank. We're going to segue into pigeon. So bring your right knee forward, close to your right hand, and lower your hips. And settle the hips equally. You might need a prop under that right hip as we lift the heart and come forward to lie over the right leg and take a little breather here. Rest the brow, tend the area of stretch. Two more long breaths. And from here we'll come back in the way that you can to downward dog. So you might press to fours, take the right knee back, and then take downward dog, where we'll hold the shape for 3 breaths. And now we'll take the left leg parallel to the mat for inhale and bring the knee forward to a plank. On the exhale, 2 more times. And on this 3rd time, that left knee slides to the left hand to lower the hips for pigeon pose. Or always remember, if this hurts your knee, just come onto your back. So first a little lift of the heart like a cobra, and then lead with your heart as we come forward. Make a little pillow for your brow and rest where you can. Bring your breath you know where. And 2 more cycles of breath here. And as we complete, we'll go back again. Use the hands, press back, coming to downward dog. Where again we just breathe into this shape. Take your right leg high up behind, and let's aim the right foot forward between the hands, stepping through. Good. So now powering up your back leg, we're coming off the ground with the hands to take them back a little bit. Arms reach back. Great. Left arm forward and back. Right arm forward and back. Now the both. And exhale, bring your hands down to the mat again and take that right leg back and high up behind, letting the hip open any amount. Stretch the leg and the hip and the quad. Even bend your right elbow and let your foot move towards the left. Good. And straighten the leg and bring your right foot next to your left. 3 breaths. Are you ready? It's the left leg now, lifts up behind. Look between your hands and set your foot there. We don't need to be too wide apart with the feet, because we want to now power up the legs and bring the arms behind. And then bring your right arm, inhale forward and back, and the left, and back, and both arms. Good, and hands to the mat. Left leg steps back and high. Way high, bend the knee, let the foot drop rightwards. Good, and left foot next to right foot, and bring your knees down. Have a little moment in child's pose. Oh yeah, we're getting warm. We're working. Soften in. Little moment to breathe in the restful place. All right, everyone, let's go back to downward dog. So your right leg lifts up behind. Step the foot forward. Now tip your left heel and bring your left arm up to come up to warrior two. And hopefully you're facing the camera, the screen, as we now hold warrior two. Feel the breath. And let's take the dancing warrior. So your right arm lifts up, little back bend, and then exhale, come forearm to thigh, up and over. Moving between these three poses. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, reverse the warrior. Inhale, warrior two. And exhale, side angle. One more time. Coming up. Reverse warrior. Warrior two. And a side angle. Take a couple of breaths here in side angle. Great, side bend. Good, now we're going to press down and come to upright to parallel the feet. Have them in the same plane as we take a inhale tall and an exhale forward bend. Over the wide legs, reach your arms forward, stretch your hips back. 3 slow breaths. Good, everyone. So now bend your left knee, walk your hands through the high lunge to the left side of your mat, stepping back to downward dog. And that same leg that you just stepped back, your left leg, take it high and step the foot between your hands. Tip your back heel and come up again for warrior two, second side. Ta-da! Here we are. Great, and reverse the warrior. Inhale, exhale, reverse. Coming back to center, a hand side angle for the exhale. So beautiful upper body mobility, while the strength of the hips and the legs support. We have one to go. And this is the one where we hang out a few breaths in the side angle, really get a good side rib opening. Great. On inhale, we'll come to upright, parallel the feet again. A little closer in on the same plane the toes are. Can you clasp hands behind your sacrum and lift the heart? Exhale, forward bend. Now deeply into the shoulders as well as the legs. And breathe as the arms fold overhead towards the ground. The next exhale, bring the arms down, bring your hands to your thighs. Bend the knees and bring your heels in a little bit. Press the hands to the thighs and come upright into this squat position. It's not quite a squat. And bend your knees as well. Well, what are these elbows? Good. And so straighten the arms and the legs. Breathe in. And exhale now, this is goddess pose. Straightening up. Exhale, draw in both your belly as well as the elbows and knees. 3 to go. Straighten up. Inward contraction. 2 to go. And our last one. Nice. Now, legs stay, the hands come to the thighs, lean a little forward, upper body dips in, right side dips in and out. Left side dips in, upper body twist and back. Great. A couple more each side. And last one each side. Great. Come up the midline to straighten the legs and just step your feet together and pause a moment here in this Tadasana. Restful standing pose. Great. And so our next standing pose is triangle. So we widen the feet. We're going out to your right. That right leg turns out and the left heel slips away. And we level out the arms, grow tall, and reach towards the right to come into triangle pose. Be sure to keep your trunk over your leg. And breathe here into the big, open, wide wings, reaching out from the heart. Exhale, root your feet to inhale upright. And softening the arms to turn the legs to second side. Rooting and spreading for the in, and over we go. Triangle pose, second side. Deeply grounded and steady, and this expansive, heart-opening, wide wings. Spreading not only across the front, but also the upper back. Deeply root and inhale, come up. And relax your arms. Come back to second side. No, first side, second round. So we're out to your right. Triangle pose again. Tall, wide reach in. And exhale, triangle. So this time let's bring the top arm closer to the head. So we're back into this deep side stretch that we practiced earlier, and side angle. Root the feet on the exhale and come up on the inhale. And release the arms and swivel the feet, the legs, to second side. So really root down so we can rise and spread. And exhale into second side, triangle pose. The upper arm really close to your head. And fill that whole flank with your breath. Root the feet and inhale upright. Good, relax the arms, walk the feet in. And relaxed moment in the tall upright stance. Great. Turn now towards the short end of your mat and get your blocks to the high setting, bringing your hands to the high blocks. Walk your feet back so that we can have a flat back position. Feet close together. Right leg now parallel to the mat. Heart reaches forward. And as your left hip and thigh draw back, your left arm reaches forward. On the exhale, bring the hand to the block, your foot to the mat. Bend your both knees and then circle the hips or sway them side to side. As we come back to center and ready now for second side. So we've got lovely high blocks. We're going to take the left leg now parallel to the mat. That means the hip is pointing down, the right thigh and sit bone draw back as the right arm reaches forward. Now we just want to regulate the breath so that we can find calmness and centeredness even here. And hand and foot come back down. Walking out your knees, rocking your hips. Bring ease. Lovely, everyone. So the blocks now to the sides. And let's walk back to a downward facing dog. Come to plank on the inhale. Lower to the mat on the exhale. Reach your arms back, inhale. Firm up your legs, exhale. Lift the chest, and now lift your legs as well for 3 breaths. We've got cobra, We've got locust. And a lot of charge running through the body. As you exhale, you can release, have a little rest, make a pillow, and relax your back. And now bring your hands ready to press back. Some of you can go straight to plank. Some of us will go to the knees, and we'll all meet up in downward dog. Three breaths. Bring now your right leg up, look forward, and step the right foot to the front of the mat. Power up your feet. We're coming upright. So we came up a little way the first time. We're coming all the way up. Feel free to use your right thigh to press up on. And here we are now, ready for Warrior One. Arms. The back heel is off the mat. And we have this nice buoyancy, the Warrior One shape. On the inhale, straighten your front leg. And on the exhale, coming forward all the way down to the mat. So you'll keep your knee straight as long as you can. You'll bend it as needed. Hands to the mat. 3 breaths here. And now we'll step the right foot back to downward dog. Feet close together. Now we'll take the left leg up, step the foot forward all the way to press it down to power up the legs and come to upright, getting steady and balanced. And once so, you add the arms and hold this joyful, lovely, triumphant shape. We're just lifted and grounded, strong and steady. Breathing in, straighten the front leg. And come forward slowly all the way to the mat, where we'll hang out a few breaths over that mostly straight left leg. And let's step back to downward dog. Good. Bring the knees down. Reach for a block, 1 or 2 blocks to sit on between the feet. As we come into Virasana in the way that you can, some of you can sit without a block between your feet. And so finding what's needed for your body, just rest a moment in the breath, sitting tall, lowered gaze. Great. Now inhale, raise both arms up. And exhale, come forward with your hands, setting up for downward dog. So come forward. Now we can get the blocks out of the way from all fours to return to downward dog. Blocks at the front of the mat. We'll walk the feet now a little ways forward so that we can come again to the flat back position with the hands on the high blocks and the feet fairly close together. So we're going to put all weight on the right foot. Take the left leg back, but open the hip. We're coming now into half moon. So we've got the leg back, we've got the hip opening, and what's next is the left arm coming up, opening the entire body towards the left as we stand on the right leg. And as we exhale again, bring your hand back to the block on your left foot next to your right foot and walk it out and ease your hips. And are you ready for second side, which is the left foot grounds, the right leg stretches back, open the hip to the right, and from the groundedness of the left foot, when you feel the impulse, take your arm up. And then open your front body towards the right, so we've got that same wingspan, arm to arm across the heart. The back leg needs to be actively flexed to stay. Nice, everyone. Good job. Exhale, coming out, hand back and a foot back. Oh, let's walk back a little bit. Bring the knees down to the mat. And let's come into a seated position. Cross-legged. So, good balance practice there. Sit a moment in your tall frame, your lowered gaze. Bringing now your arms wide out, bend the elbows. And as the elbows come towards each other, your right elbow over your left, either hold your shoulders or wrap your forearms. And lift the elbows. And exhale, strong from your core, we'll bow forward, stretch your back, easing the shoulders. Inhale, raise the elbows. And exhale, come forward, strong core. And one more time. We come upright, undo the arms to meet the hands at the low back. And this time as we lift the heart, take the knuckles down to the ground away from your back so your elbows are straight and your neck's long. Couple of breaths. You could look down, feel the shoulder blades squeeze together. And then release your hands. Good. The wide arms, the bent elbows. Now it's your left over right. Hold your shoulders or wrap the forearms. Good, as we did. Heart lifts, breath in. Exhale forward. 2 more times. Take it slow. We come up and we meet hands again at the low back. One finger slot along, so let that feel awkward as we lift the heart. Widen the shoulders, press the shoulder blades down and straighten your arms, knuckles towards the ground and chin towards your chest. Nice, and release. Good, shake out your hands. Good, let's come onto the back and do elevated legs position, which is having the block under the sacrum. So the low block underneath your sacrum. Bringing your arms in really close. Feel like you want to keep your feet on the ground a little while. Feel free to do that. And then when you're ready, send the legs up into the air. Knowing that this is a lovely counterpose to the stronger standing poses we did today. So the blood flow in the legs and the feet releases. The joints are at ease. Ankles and knees, toes, all at ease. Nothing locked. And as we breathe here, begin to add pauses between both ends of the breath. The breath stays deep and conscious, but slows down, particularly as we begin to increase the breath retention. When you feel ready, we'll do the square breath, where your inhale matches the pauses, as does the exhale. So as you complete your final square breath, let your knees bend and your feet come to the mat. Moving the block and taking your hips slightly to the right to land, and the right thigh over the left for our very releasing and softening spinal twist. The wrapped legs to the left, the upper body flat. Dropping now into the allowing place. Receiving the stretch here and receiving the breathing exactly as it wants to be breathed. And gratitude for the miracle of breath. Whether we're aware of it or not, the breath is keeping us going. As you're ready, we'll bring the knees back up and set up for second side, where your hips are slightly left of center and the left thigh is over the right to drop again, the hips to the right and the upper back so at rest. Tending all the places that we can feel now. And then we'll come out of this twist to undo the legs and find the midline of your body, to find your props and to let your body relax in final relaxation with all the support that serves you today. As you settle in, knowing that we did some good standing poses and balancing poses and core muscles practicing, all of which has helped to stabilize the spine and the hips and the shoulders and everything in between. And so the viscera and the vital organs in the trunk get compressed and stretched and squeezed and breathed to now settle back into each natural place with more space, more ease. As you feel your breath breathing you, let your mind drop back as though your brain's dropping to the back of the head and nothing is needed. Please know that you can stay as long as you like in Shavasana. Honoring yourself for the practice, for showing up, for doing it in spite of whatever resistance there may have been today. How good it feels to complete. to move a little and curl up onto your side for the gratitude moment, drenching in gratitude. We'll complete in the seated pose. So grateful for your presence and your participation. Beautiful yogis. Namaste.